What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and here's my official review for Need for Speed. Now, Need for Speed is the newest installment in the long line of video game-based movies, and this movie stars Aaron Paul from the Breaking Bad series and Dominique Cooper. And in terms of overall plot, what you have is it's pretty much a series of about 3 different storylines. It begins with an accident that takes place between a race between Aaron Paul's character, Dominique's character, and another one of Aaron Paul's friends. And he gets killed in the process, and Aaron Paul has to go to jail. And when he gets out after 2 years, he decides that he is going to get revenge on Dominique Cooper's character for apparently letting his friend die. So in order to do that, he is going to drive from one side of the country all the way to the other in order to take part in this really underground, highly expensive race. And once he beats Dominique Cooper, he can then right the wrongs of his past and get revenge/redemption. Now, being a big fan of the Need for Speed franchise, I have to state that this is not the worst video game-based movie that we've seen, but it's clearly nowhere near the best. Now, in terms of overall performances, I thought that Aaron Paul really did a very solid job of what he was given. There were certainly a number of scenes where he was a much lighthearted character, and you could, sympathize with this guy. He seemed like a really nice guy. And then there were other scenes where he was just downright cold, and at times he kind of felt like a bit of an asshole. Dominique Cooper's character seemed to be a bit generic, and he pretty much goes through the works that you would expect from a guy that likes to cheat in all his races in order to win. However, one really major standout performance in this particular film was Michael Keaton's character, who was pretty much the orchestrator of this really big race. And every scene that he was in was just, it was clearly some of the best scenes, and he had really all the best dialogue. The film is also very well shot. I absolutely enjoyed all the racing scenes and the chase scenes in general. They were all done with practical effects, and if it's true that the actual actors were performing at their own stunts with the cars, I think that's a serious plus that I would give this film credit for above the Fast and Furious movies. The problem is this. I know that when you're adapting a video game to a movie, you have to make absolutely drastic changes. I understand that, and I didn't come into this movie expecting to see a movie feel like a video game, but what I was expecting is I want something in this film to actually feel like it belongs in the Need for Speed world, and I don't really think that was achieved to a point. I mean, obviously, there's racing for money, but for me, Need for Speed was, at least back in the day, it was so much more than that. It was the journey. And it's the journey of this particular film that just kind of feels a bit mediocre. I mean, in terms of characters, outside of the 3 main leads, everyone else seemed to kind of either be just there because it's stereotypical, or they're there just to be comic relief, or they're just there just to kind of solve a problem when things clearly are going completely to hell. And there are a certain number of scenes that just come right out of nowhere, like when the main character is in a jam. Heck, this person shows up with something that you're not sure how he got his hands on, but you're supposed to go with it. So if it's one of those movies where I'm supposed to just go with the film, then why does the film try to be so serious at times? And there just doesn't seem to be a good balance between wanting to take this movie seriously and just having fun with it, like the Fast and Furious films, which, that is a clear fantasy, and it's completely impossible, and the physics is absolutely just out of nowhere, but it's supposed to be fun to watch. This movie doesn't quite seem to know what it's trying to be, and it's those scenes that really hold it back. And also, in terms of characters, Aaron Paul's character does things throughout the film that kind of put him kind of in the gray. I mean, you want to support this guy, you want him to achieve his goal, but he will get in chases that actually get innocent people either killed or seriously injured, and when you have to harm innocent people to get what you want, that's really not something I want my protagonist to do. Now, despite this, this film it's very entertaining. You're certainly going to have a good time if you do choose to spend your money seeing this film, but most likely you're going to walk out of it feeling that you've seen better films try to do this. And it's true, there are much better films than this. And if you choose not to see this in theaters, you're really not missing anything. This is clearly the type of movie that you could rent and watch it with a good group of friends. But I had fun with the film. I'm sure the people that I saw the film with, they also had a good time, but, there was a lot of improvements that this film could have needed or used. That is why I'm going to have to give Need for Speed a C+. If you're a fan of the franchise, you could see it, but you're going to feel a little bit let down like I was. But you're still going to have a really good time. If you like this movie review, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check me my future movie, video game reviews, and topic videos. And just press one of the links in the description down below to follow me on Twitter or friend me on Facebook, and I'll be sure to friend you and follow you back. Like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.